All right, a Chinese startup called DeepSeek released R1, which is an open source artificial intelligence model, which is sending shockwave.
DeepSeek shaking up global tech.
NVIDIA losing nearly $600 billion in market cap today alone.
Is that DeepSeek has about 50,000 H100s, which they can't talk about, obviously.
The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Zero to AI. Today, we're breaking down what might be the most intense AI face-off yet: China's DeepSeek R1 versus OpenAI's latest $200 model. Could this be the moment China officially overtakes the West in artificial intelligence? Or is this just another case of overhyped AI rivalry? If DeepSeek R1 is truly competing at the highest levels for a fraction of the cost, we're talking about more than just better chatbots. This could be a geopolitical earthquake. An AI shift this big doesn't just affect developers. It changes industries, economies, and maybe even the global balance of power. So today, we're going deep. We'll break down the performance, the hidden power moves behind these AI battles, the real consequences for AI regulation, and why some experts are saying that the US might already be falling behind. The AI arms race. How did we get here? To really understand why DeepSeek R1 versus OpenAI matters so much, we have to rewind a bit. For the past decade, AI leadership has been dominated by the US. OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Anthropic have been leading the charge, pushing the boundaries of artificial general intelligence, AGI. China, while making progress, has mostly been seen as a follower rather than a leader in AI breakthroughs. But here's the kicker: AI doesn't just advance in straight lines. It moves in leaps, and some experts are saying China just made one. DeepSeek R1, developed by a team in China, is reportedly matching or even outperforming OpenAI's latest paid models when it comes to complex problem-solving, coding, and mathematical reasoning. And the biggest twist? It's significantly cheaper. That alone is game-changing, because when an AI model is cheaper, faster, and just as good, it doesn't just compete, it dominates. Breaking down the DeepSeek R1. What's the hype about? So what makes DeepSeek R1 such a big deal? Let's break it down. 1. Performance metrics. According to independent benchmarks, DeepSeek R1 is competing toe-to-toe with OpenAI's latest $200 model. It excels at advanced mathematical reasoning and coding, a huge advantage in an AI-driven world where automation is key. Some developers even claim it's more accurate in complex problem-solving than GPT-4 Turbo. 2. Cost advantage. Let's be real. AI isn't just about intelligence. It's about accessibility. OpenAI's high-end models aren't cheap. If DeepSeek R1 delivers similar performance at a fraction of the price, this could force OpenAI to rethink its entire business model. 3. Training data and compute power. China has an edge when it comes to data access. While OpenAI trains on publicly available data with some secret sauce, DeepSeek R1 may have been trained on vast amounts of proprietary, government-backed datasets, giving it a unique advantage. But here's the big question: can it keep up in real-world applications? Because theory is one thing, real-world dominance is another. Can China really overtake the US in AI? This isn't just about a better AI model. It's about who controls the future of intelligence. China's been making major moves in AI for years, and DeepSeek R1 is just the latest example. China has already set a goal to become the global leader in AI by 2030. And let's be honest, they're not playing around. The Chinese government directly supports AI startups, giving them the computing power, data access, and funding they need to scale. Something even OpenAI struggles with despite Microsoft's billions. But AI supremacy isn't just about building better models. It's about who uses them and how they shape the future. If Chinese AI models become the standard in Asia, Africa, and parts of Europe, we could see a major shift away from Western AI dominance. And that means the AI race just got a whole lot more political. The OpenAI problem? Is the West falling behind? Here's where things get uncomfortable. Some experts think OpenAI and Western AI companies are falling behind. Why? Bureaucracy, safety concerns, and corporate politics. While OpenAI debates AI ethics, safety, and regulatory concerns, China is moving fast. The US government, on the other hand, is trying to regulate AI development before it even fully matures. Meanwhile, Chinese firms are deploying AI in everything, from national security to business automation to education and healthcare. This begs the question, is the West too slow for its own good? Or is careful AI regulation the only way to prevent an out-of-control AI arms race? The role of government in the AI arms race. One of the biggest differences between AI development in China and the US comes down to government involvement. And this is where things get really interesting. In the US, AI is largely driven by private companies: OpenAI, Google DeepMind, Anthropic, Microsoft. These companies operate in a competitive, market-driven ecosystem with some government regulations creeping in. But in China, AI development is heavily state-backed. The Chinese government isn't just an investor, it's an active participant. That means companies like DeepSeek don't just compete with OpenAI. They have the full weight of national policy, funding, and strategy behind them. And that raises a critical question. Does a centralized, government-driven AI strategy outperform a free market AI race? Or does regulation in the West ultimately lead to safer, more robust AI models? If China's approach works, we could see a future where governments, not corporations, dictate the pace of AI progress. And that might be the biggest AI power shift of all. How AI regulation is shaping the battle. Let's talk about something that could completely change the AI race: regulation. Right now, Western governments, especially in the US and EU, are pushing hard for stricter AI laws. Meanwhile, China is moving fast with minimal regulatory hurdles. The EU's AI Act and the US's proposed AI safety measures could slow down development. Companies like OpenAI and Google DeepMind are already spending massive resources on compliance. But China, they have their own AI safety policies. But those policies are designed to accelerate AI growth, not slow it down. So here's the dilemma. Will strict regulations in the West make AI safer but less competitive? Or will looser regulations in China lead to faster breakthroughs, but with higher risks? It's a tough balance, but if the West can't keep up because of red tape, it might not even matter how safe AI is, because China could be running the show. The global impact. Who will use DeepSeek R1? Let's shift gears and talk about something even bigger. Who is actually going to use DeepSeek R1? Because this battle isn't just OpenAI versus DeepSeek. It's about who controls AI access worldwide. Think about it. Right now, OpenAI's models are dominant in the US and Europe, but expensive and sometimes restricted in other parts of the world. Meanwhile, China is targeting Asia, Africa, and even parts of Europe with cheaper, high-performance AI alternatives. Imagine an AI-driven world where developing nations choose Chinese AI models over American ones simply because they're cheaper and more accessible. That would mean China isn't just competing, it's actually setting the global AI standard. So here's the billion-dollar question. Will OpenAI's dominance shrink as China's AI goes global? Or will Western AI companies fight back and expand their reach before it's too late? The counter-arguments. Is DeepSeek R1 overhyped? Now, before we start thinking China has already won, let's talk about the counter-arguments. First, there's the data quality issue. While China has access to massive data sets, a lot of its internet is heavily censored. That means AI models might lack the diversity and nuance of Western-trained models. Could this impact their ability to generalize across different cultures and applications? Second, AI breakthroughs don't always translate to real-world success. DeepSeek R1 might be impressive in benchmarks, but can it integrate with global businesses the way OpenAI has? And finally, the West still controls the best AI hardware. NVIDIA, AMD, and other US-based semiconductor companies still dominate the GPU market, which means China may struggle to scale AI models as efficiently as the US. What this means for the future. So, what does all this mean? The AI race is no longer just about OpenAI versus competitors. It's about who shapes the future of intelligence. If China keeps accelerating, we could see a world where Western AI is no longer the global standard. But what do you think? Is DeepSeek R1 a real game changer, or is this just hype? Will OpenAI hold its ground, or are we witnessing a power shift in AI? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. That's it for today's episode of Zero to AI. Hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you in the next one.